The umpire of the match, Sir Craig Cox, the Netherlands. And the study judge, Rohanan de Silva, Sri Lanka. And now, please welcome, from China, Zhang and Zhao Yunlei. And Alfian for Prasetya, Annisa Saufika, Indonesia.
So it looks to me as if the Indonesians have chosen to start this near side of the court. Three finals they've been in the mixed doubles together, these two Chinese players. Zhao Yunlei has been in a total of 6 finals. 3 women's doubles, won the women's doubles in 2014 with Tian Qing, lost her other 2 women's doubles finals, one with Chen Shu and one again with Tian Qing. Zhang, of course, last year was beaten finalist in the men's doubles, playing with Fu Haifeng, but they've departed this year's men's doubles draw, so all of his concentration on this mixed doubles now, the current world #1s. 26 years of age, born in Beijing. His mixed doubles partner, 29, from Hubei province. First became world #1s back in 2011, January 2011. Well, they had their problems yesterday against Ricky Widianto and Richie Puspita Dili. As you can see, dropped the opening game, but came back 21-13. Hour and 7 minutes for that one. And in the very first rounds, beat the pair who beat them in the last of the Premier Super Series events, the Malaysian Premier events, and it was the Malaysian pair of Chan Ping Soon and Goh Li Ying. So revenge for them in round 1. So to the 21-year-olds from Jakarta. World ranking has gone down from their highest, 20, only the 8th ranked Indonesian pair in the mixed doubles. Annisa Saufika will turn 23 later this month.
Ready to play?
Cirebon. And as far as they're concerned, well, I've mentioned their result against Chris and Gabby Adcock. had to save a game point in that opening game before winning it 24-22. Deciding game 21-16. Yesterday, as I say, if you were with us, it was all a bit one-sided against the European Championship bronze medalists, RNs and Peak. I'm sure Peak's a lot happier after her performance today. That was a thrilling women's doubles. So certainly on paper, there's no question that despite the fact they haven't played against each other previously, that Chinese pair must be overwhelming favourites.
On my left, Zhang, Zhao Yunlei, China.
Our umpire.
Zhao Yunlei to serve to Alfian into Prasetya.
And it is Silva.
Double.
Oh, Sri Lanka. Oh, service judge.
Excellent shot by Zhang.
Yeah, certainly when I was looking at the matches we had for quarterfinals day earlier this morning, Steen, I did wonder, it did cross my mind whether the fact that the two Chinese players who were both expected to get a fair distance in the level doubles, Fu Haifeng, he lost, as I was saying, beaten finalist last year. Now what's that all about? Not quite sure, but he's been warned very gently by the umpire. And of course, Zhao Yunlei losing to Narida and Prasetya, the pair we've just watched with her Olympic winning partner, Tiang Qing. Does that mean that, in theory, perhaps all concentration now on the mixed doubles and able to focus on one event help them?
Yeah, in theory, it should, and I also think it will. But will it be enough? I think the loss for Zhao Yunlei and Tiang Qing yesterday to Narida and Prasetya, as we just saw, it's a very disappointing loss in my opinion. They also lost in the final of the Uber Cup to the best Korean pair and so on. So they've lost a number of matches, and I mean, before we saw women's doubles as a Chinese wall almost. It was not uncommon that we had all four semi-finalists from China, and now, I mean, we see them lose matches. We also see them win tournaments. We should say that, but
yeah.
In my opinion, it's a sign that they are not entirely in their best form right now, and there's some strange things going on in the women's doubles department, at least. Fu Haifeng, Zhang, also a very surprising loss yesterday to the Danes. Yeah, so
Astrup and Rasmussen.
Yeah. What I think might help Zhang and Zhao Yunlei in this match is that they played good opposition in the mixed doubles, quite strong category. We have a lot of seats left there, and they played an Indonesian pair yesterday who more or less plays the same playing style as this pair here, so they should be used to it. They should know what the strategy should be.
Yeah, it's well taken. And of course, for the Indonesian pair, I was saying yesterday, it was the first ever Premier Super Series second round appearance, which of course means it's their first ever quarter-final. In fact, they haven't been in a quarter-final of an ordinary Super Series event either. So this is a huge occasion for this Indonesian pair. Yeah, and already the shake of the head. I don't like that.
It's a tougher position to be up against them. I don't know I've noticed that Indonesia has now 4 entities left in this tournament. 2 of the young men's singles, Ihsan Mustafa and Jonathan Christie. They both face European opponents and have a reasonably fair chance of getting to the semifinals here. But I mean, it's not unthinkable that Indonesia could be out of the tournament ahead of the semifinals in their home tournament, and that would be really, really disappointing for the Indonesian team, in my opinion.
Yes, well, especially when you consider that home players have always been involved on finals day in at least one final throughout the entire history of this particular event, which dates back to 1982. So, if they don't even have a pair or player in semi-finals, questions will be asked.
And I must say, I think they have fine chances in the matches that are still to be played. This is probably the toughest task.
Yeah, I agree.
To be able to beat the world champions and reigning Olympic champions as well. I mean, that's perhaps not where they think it should come from. That's all.
Yeah. So, racing to a 9-point advantage, the mid-game interval. And then apart from the obvious difference in class from past results, it must be very difficult for coaches just to settle the nerves of the Indonesians. This is such an occasion for them.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1,
You
20
desperately
seconds.
need that good start, don't you? Just to sort of get yourself in the mindset of, yep.
Yeah, so that's why it was a little bit puzzling that they chose to start on this near side to the camera. It must have been, of course, there's different possibilities, but in my mind, it must have been something that they wanted to make sure that they could get their attack going, and the attack is helped a little bit by playing on this near side here. Your smashes comes a little bit quicker to the opponents and so on, but it's very difficult to be on the defensive side yourself, and your opponents can play without having to worry too much about the drift when they play the backcourt. So they're definitely giving Zhang and Zhao Yunlei a good start. And I mean, if you're a young pair, then already here thinking about a third game, that's perhaps being a little ahead of yourself. I would just worry about getting a good start, so I could get some confidence, some belief that I could beat the world champions and the Olympic champions.
Time's over. 33.
Oh yes, well that's nicely done.
Time's over. 4:13.
Yeah, and I think maybe if we are to look at the future for Indonesian badminton, we've had an opportunity here in Jakarta to look at a number of the younger Indonesian players who've made it into this Premier Series event. They wouldn't normally be playing Premier Series, but I think maybe their biggest crop of talent, so to speak, is in the mixed doubles, where they have a number of good players.
Yeah.
5:14.
Players that we've seen improving their game, with especially the All England champions, probably Jordan and Devi Susanto.
Yeah. Yeah, their first round loss was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it? But I have to say their opponents have been in Super Series tournaments finals before, Lu Kai and Wang Yaxiong, and they're already through to the semi-final tomorrow. So it was a particularly tough draw, I think, for Praveen Jordan and Debbie Susanto.
It's like they haven't really recovered from their All-England victory yet.
Yes.
Oh, goes over. 15-6. Six.
I think the serve got deflected from the net court there.
17-6.
Got a bit of silence here in Istora. Chinese pair simply been dominating this first game.
That's over. 7-17.
Oh, serve wide of the centre line.
Yeah.
18-9.
3 points away from this opening game for Zhang and Zhao Yunlei. 2 points away.
19-9.
Yeah, and important to close it as quick as possible for the Chinese pair. Don't give any easy points away. Don't let the Indonesians get any hope for the second game. It's much harder to coach when you've lost the first game 21-10, 21-9 or something like that, than when you just scored 3 or 4 points before the game is over. Then you come with a little bit of confidence.
Oh, that's landed in.
Yeah.
Well, it's challenging. I can't believe that challenge. I think probably morally, because he had indicated that he thought he was out, he felt he had to challenge. So close to the end of the opening game, might as well. 2 challenges per game. But I'm pretty certain that's going to be in. Yeah.
Hasn't been shown in the hall yet.
No.
That's why the players are still waiting.
Yeah, and the umpire's still waiting. Umpire needs to look up to behind where we're sitting, where Hawkeye is.
Unsuccessful.
Umpire has been told that the challenge was unsuccessful.
10-19. Oops, they showed the sign to me.
Yeah,
The
it's been shown
monitor
a sign from
they showed
where
me the
Hawkeye is
sign
sitting.
version. No.
Doesn't come up on the screens here in the hall. I don't know if it's because of
Serve's over.
the internet
10-19.
problems, but at
Zhang
least
and
we're
Zhao have
experiencing
one
some
challenge remaining.
internet problems here where we're
Play.
sitting, so that might
Yeah.
be the case that we don't see any graphics on the boards. Oi!
Oh,
Well, that's what you call a perfect defensive shot.
That was the best defensive shot he could make.
Thundered into the tape and literally just crawled over. In fact, she touched the net with her racket. She tried to play it.
Normally this is, oh, that's quite a bit wide.
20, game point.
Game points
11.
galore.
Normally this is one of the most difficult holes to umpire in because you simply can't hear anything. And if a player touches the shuttle and it's a double hit or whatever goes on, it's really, really hard to communicate with the players as well.
Well, the points, that goes wrong. So opening game 21-11, but the point you were making a moment ago again, Steve, about the Indonesians, I think, have played themselves a little bit into the match because they were well behind at one stage, weren't really in the rallies at all. Give them some hope and belief for the start of game number 2. But just 16 minutes for the opening game, 21-11. In favour of the number 1 seeds, Zhang and Zhao Yunlei.
Zhao. Yeah, but also at the last point, don't call out. Let the line gauge call, okay?
So the players return to court. Very, very interesting. Don't know if you caught it, Steen. I just could hear the umpire, Freak Cox, just very quietly and speaking with authority, though, telling the Chinese players not to signal out, as that's trying to influence the line judge. So he's just quietly dealt with the situation. I like that. That's good umpiring. Well, what happens the very first rally of the next game, Zhang now indicates out with his arms. Yeah, and the umpire is having a word, and rightly so. Yeah, he's just saying, look, I've told you, I've warned you about that, and you immediately spread your arms to show that the line judge, it was out. There's no question the shuttle did land out, but you're not allowed to try and influence. The correct call was made, but I think it's almost habit sometimes with some players.
Yeah. They're simply used to do it.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, what if he does it again next time? Will he get warned?
Yeah.
Will we have that consistency in umpiring? Yeah.
Yeah, because he's had a verbal warning twice now.
Yeah.
At least twice. There's an opportunity.
2-1.
That's a lovely serve. Well, it was the right shot to try. There was a gap across court. Oh, Zhang now finding the net. Oh, should have gone the wrong way.
Yeah, just lifted. Zhang. In many ways, he's right. I mean, it's so easy to get too scared of the drift.
I know it's early stages of this second game, but it's got a whole different feel about it.
Seem much more confident in the Indonesian pair. That sort of tells us that the choosing of sides in the beginning of the match was, in fact, based on an eventual third game.
6-3.
That could have gone out had he been on the other side, Zhang.
5 straight points for the Indonesians.
6. Clever move by Yunlei. Toweling down a little bit. I think we need to regroup. Zhao and Zhang have been a little bit too confident winning the first game convincingly. That's a good backwards movement by Prasetya. He was actually covering the net, or at least the front court, but still managed to get back to that lift from Yunlei.
Make that 9 straight points. And an 11-3 advantage here in the second game. Wow. What an extraordinary turnaround of events. Early game, the Chinese pair absolutely dominant. I can't remember when I last saw, and if I've ever seen, Zhang and Zhao Yunlei lose 9 straight points in a match. Certainly a rarity if it has happened before. Oh, that's fabulous. Fabulous shot.
And they've been doing a great job of covering the front court here and sort of forcing the Chinese pair to give away the attack. Prasetya and Saufika. I think perhaps the Chinese pair have more or less lost interest in this second game. Unless they get some easy points.
Well, I have to say, I can hardly believe what I'm watching at the moment.
34.
Indonesians looked so far out of it in the first game, and now they're playing brilliantly. I mean, it's fabulous that a young pair against reigning world and Olympic champions can pull themselves together like this. I mean, well, it's great for the future, isn't it? It shows a huge potential.
Yeah.
What's going wrong?
And that's what they have to worry about, the Chinese. They can't play free now on the flat shots to the baseline, to the backcourt. And that's sort of disturbing their game. And that's not all. It's also the Indonesians doing a really, really good job. That one, Saufika, she's alert. Good coverage by Prasetya. And suddenly the hall has come to life.
Might be her first service error of the match, is it?
I think it was Prasetya, wasn't it? 15, yeah, it was Prasetya.
Prasetya. Oh, that's landed in. That's come back in. That's extraordinary. Yeah, it looked to be going well wide.
She left it on purpose, Zhang.
A little bit of luck never goes amiss.
Yeah. Both pairs are really playing close to both the net and the lines. I mean, there's been a little bit of a draft of good rallies. Very, very short rallies in this second game.
87.
Almost played 2 games in 28 minutes. That's what one game normally takes if it's really close.
Well, Indonesians in all sort of a muddle, who was supposed to be taking it at the back, and then an unforced error from Zhang. Look, in each other's way. Zhang under no pressure at all. It's the mistake.
They're playing way too slow, the Chinese pair. And, I hope we're going to see a different motivation, different interest in the game in the second, or in the decider, that we're no doubt going to have.
Over. 8-19.
nice ambitious shot to try. Yeah, across the body.
Madam, line off, please.
Very difficult to defend, especially if you're weighted, committed to that backhand defence. Actually, she wasn't over-committed. But it is a difficult one to return.
Tried a little bit too much, perhaps. Tried to
Yeah.
get it long.
9-19. Wait.
Oh, good one, yeah.
Well,
20. 8.9.
not in the best of shape. That's definitely the case with Zhang. Men's doubles yesterday. Of course, a nice win for the Danish pair, but it's one of those results that makes you wonder. You want to see them repeat it. Otherwise, there's something odd about it, and you can't really use it when you gauge the strength of the pairings.
One game all. 21-10. Second game to the Indonesian youngsters, Prasetya and Saufika. Yeah, turn of the Chinese to getting each other's way. Yeah, I think it would have been better to allow Zhang to play that. 31 minutes. And it's one game all. Approval there from Nova Widianto. So the question is, can the Indonesians, Prasetya and Saufika, can they, at the very least, keep the scores close while playing from this more difficult end? We're at the start of the deciding game.
One, go.
Want to come back, Steen, to a point you made earlier about China's dominance or one-time dominance in the women's doubles, in the mixed doubles. So many good pairs, and especially with this pair. And when they were playing regularly, ever since January 2011, they really haven't been disputed as the world number ones. Yes, other pairs have got to that status, but then they weren't playing a lot of tournaments at one stage.
Yeah.
You know, and that aura of invincibility that they seemed to just ooze on court. You know, they went onto court and it was almost as if, and I don't mean that you had no chance, because they just had this presence about them.
Yeah,
They've lost that.
Yeah,
they've lost it.
And I feel I feel we're seeing a match very similar to the one we saw yesterday with Lindan against Jonathan Christie, where, I mean, the pace in this match, it's just slow. I mean, Zhang and Yunlei, if they are to have a chance, they have to up the pace, and it seems that they are unable to right now. And I don't know, it's been a long Olympic qualification period. I haven't done the calculations on the world rankings. Of course, the pairs are playing for seeds. I think they might be pretty secure.
I think they're out of reach of any other pair. I think they would definitely be #1 seeds. But I too haven't worked it out properly.
But that speed there, that's something else.
Yeah. And that's more what we used to see from the world and Olympic champions.
And that's what they can do. And yeah, I think they won the first game really easy and hoped that they could sort of cruise through this match. Now they have to step up in speed. Otherwise, they're going home.
Play.
Long. And the more difficult the Indonesians can make it for the Chinese, the more resistance they can put up. Of course, the bigger the chance is that they're going to win this quarterfinal.
Thank you.
Small timeout here in the game. Both pairs discussing the strategy.
Oh,
excellent.
Fantastic reactions. And quick thinking too. It would have been awfully easy to try and play that fast back, but to just guide it into the open space.
That's typical Indonesian, in my opinion. The doubles players, they're so good at keeping an eye on where the gaps are on the opponent's side.
Overdone it.
4-6.
And I guess from seeing the last match, the women's doubles, one question comes into mind here as we get closer to a finishing point. How will being close to winning the match, how will that affect the young Indonesian pair? Will they get tensed and nervous like we saw their compatriots in the women's doubles do?
Yeah.
So for Yunlei and Zhang, keeping within striking distance is really important.
Oh, it's landed in. Zhang, oh, there's a challenge here. Zhang, just a different pace of movement in that rally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that also is a sign that it's been a long season. It's been a long period without having the opportunity to do some basic practice, some strength and conditioning practice, and that means you can sort of up the pace for a number of rallies, but you can't play in the same pace all through a match.
Well,
It was quite a bit in. Yeah, it is.
yeah. Prasetya taking the opportunity to run across and speak to Nova Widianto.
7-6. Saufika, Prasetya, 1 challenge remaining. Play.
That's also the alertness that we used to seeing Zhao Yunlei have.
Yeah.
Quick reactions at the net.
And we saw that in the opening game. I thought she
Yeah.
was very alert.
Lots of strapping on that arm.
Mm.
And it's going to be interesting to see the Olympics because,
9-6.
I mean, there is a lot more pressure on Zhang playing 2 categories. How will he cope with that? I think if he doesn't win at least one of them, it will be a little bit of a disappointment.
Yeah. Well, this is 7 straight points now.
Yeah. And exactly like the first game, it's like when they decide they want some points, the Chinese, they can actually score them.
Mm.
So very interesting to see when the change of ends happens here. What's going on then?
There's quick forward. So from a 3-6 deficit, 8 straight points. Change ends 11-7, 11-6. And it's really silenced the crowd, hasn't it? They're getting very involved when the young Indonesian pair were 4-1 up, 6-3 up.
It's now they really need the Europeans to help them.
20 seconds. Hold on, 20 seconds. Six. Play.
Oh, that's very nice. Very, very nice. Well, the run of points is broken with the change of ends.
11. Time's over. 12-7.
Well, it's a very good return of serve.
It's very hard to defend. side of the picture. Zhao Yunlei just shadowing what she should have done, moved a little quicker.
Play. Time's over.
Yeah, just enough pace on that return of serve to make it difficult for Saufika.
Yeah. Quite unhappy, Noah Budianto. I think he would have had that she left it for Prasetya.
Oh, word. Take that. What a backhand.
10, 13.
Oh, he could get his racket away.
No.
Would have gone long, no doubt about that.
14, 10. Zhang now. Thank you very much. 14, 10.
Here it comes.
Play.
Yeah, you're right, it would have gone long. Oh, getting in each other's way again.
Trips.
15, 10. Play. 11, 15.
Well, you just get the feeling that the Indonesians have to start closing this gap right now. Otherwise, time's going to run out for them.
Yeah. Yeah, the Chinese pair quite content in exchanging points.
Oh, that's welling.
Yeah.
That's welling.
12, 15.
Yeah, crowd are livened up again, haven't they?
Walk around all the time. 12, 15. Play.
Yes.
Time's over.
Yeah. Can't afford to play it
16,
fast
12.
into her hitting zone.
And look how close the Chinese are covering side by side in the flat game. So if I were the Indonesians, I think it would be worth an investment of lifting it over Zhao Yunlei in order to make the court big.
Service fault called. Above the waist, says our service judge.
Play.
That's well played, good rally. Yeah, real effort there from Zhang to take the shuttle early. First on the return of serve, and then look how he reaches forward to take it as early as possible.
Zhao. Don't fist in the direction of the opponent.
Yeah, the umpire having a word with Zhao Yunlei.
Yes.
It's in.
Beautiful placement, isn't
19,
it?
14.
Great last three rallies by the Chinese pair.
Yeah. Created her own luck there.
20.
And now
Match point. 40.
6 match point opportunities. Yeah. Well, they had to work hard for their victory because of the quality of the young Indonesians. But in the end, the two-time former champions, the reigning world and Olympic champions, raised their game, raised their pace of play and secured the victory. 52 minutes, 3 games. 21-14 in the deciding game. Well, the match clock actually just ticks over to the 53 minutes now. So, a good effort, and what a tournament for Prasetya and Saufika. But today, not quite enough against the world number ones. And here's the final rally. Oh, the heavy strapping on the arm and the right knee, quite clear at the end there. So confirmation of the score, 21-11, 10-21, 21-14 in the deciding game, and the former champions through to the semi-final once more. draw from quarter-final stage. 6 different nations involved, 2 Chinese players, 2 Indonesian, 1 Hong Kong, 1 Dane, 1 Englishman, and 1 Malaysian. Of course, the Malaysian right at the bottom of the draw there, the number 2 seed, the 5-time former champion. Jan Jorgensen, top half of the draw. Well, we're going to see him later against Jonathan Christie. Jorgensen is a former champion. He won the title 2 years ago and then lost in the final last year. Right at the top of the draw is the All England finalist, Tian